Okay, so great to be here. Here I am with my wife, Jenny, and lovely Rebecca Kelly. Great to have this time together to chat a little bit about the upcoming retreat. So over to you, Rebecca.
Fantastic. Well, I just feel so excited to be chatting to you guys right now and
Mm,
introducing you to people here in Australia so that they can get to know you a little,
mm,
feel who you are, and yeah, have the opportunity to discover what it is that you're doing and bringing, and why I felt so passionate about asking you to come here because what it's
mm,
done for me in my own personal life and inner space and journey.
mm.
So, yeah, I just love you guys to share. I mean, number one, I love you guys.
Ah,
And I'm so grateful for this opportunity,
mm,
and that you're coming. It's just,
yeah.
I want to bring this to people here in Australia. I feel so honored that I'm getting this opportunity. So I'd love you to just share, who are you? Like, share a little bit of your story, individually, and also who you are together and what relationship rising is, where it came from, and then also the bigger work with Journey to the Heart and Union.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. And yeah, I just want to honor that this last few months of you weaving into the shores of New Zealand has catalyzed this wonderful movement for our family,
Mm,
for the family heart and relationship rising. And it is time to bring the journey of the heart and union to Australia. And so much
mm,
gratitude for you
mm,
holding that point here for us.
mm,
And yeah, in terms of who we are and who I am, I'm Jenny. I've been I guess, a multidimensional medicine woman for 26 years in my own personal life, run many, many businesses. And part of the deliciousness of my journey is my lifelong passion of working with horses, who I have found a dynamic teacher of congruence in the human heart field. There's
mm,
standing in the presence of a horse's heart is something else, and to work with the anatomy and the intelligence of the human heart field and relational field has been a lifelong passion. And through that time, having had my hands on thousands and thousands of people has truly
mm,
allowed me to collate an incredible database, as well as the journey Dan and I have had through, the pits and the troughs and the peaks of
mm,
27 years together in this committed relationship.
mm,
Yeah, that's a little bit about me, as well as that I am a mama of two incredible teens, that
mm,
we run a retreat center in New Zealand as well, and host many, many group sessions and retreats throughout this
mm,
beautiful land. Passing on to you,
mm.
Dan.
Passing it on to me.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'm Dan. Who am I? It's a great question. I
Who
mean,
are you,
I'm a,
Dan?
eh?
I said, who are you, Dan?
Yeah.
I see myself as a man who's got this massive bandwidth. We talk about bandwidth, which is like,
Mm,
I'm just as happy in the garage with the boxing gloves on, just
mm,
t finding my edge, like going
mm.
for it, like on the weights, just loving that side of things. I still play soccer, and I'm over 50 years old. I've never played a friendly in my life. No. And I'm just as happy, what was I finding some animal the other day, saving a bumblebee or a bee who needs a little bit of honey. And I just love that connection with the earth. So I've got a massive heart. Might be wondering what this is. This is a t-shirt. Actually, it wasn't
I've
deliberate, but I
seen
put
that.
it on. It's all about an elephant in a country who needed to be freed, and my heart just was called to that. So yeah, and so I'm a father who's got a massive heart. I love people, and yeah, I also love that competitive, yeah, edge side of things. So, mm.
Mm. And you both also had, professional backgrounds. Like you worked so much, and you still do, with dogs and with dog behavior. Like you worked with the horses, Jenny, and you still do. But you've also had so many other professional
Mm.
careers as well. Like Jenny, you're a physiotherapist, and
Mm.
weren't you one of the like pioneers of Pilates in, I think, in the Southern Hemisphere? Like, there's a lot there. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot there that you guys have done and that you do and that you've woven together over all these years,
Yeah.
you know, on so many levels.
There is, you know, maths teacher, civil engineer, policeman. That's my gig. I work with over,
Mm,
you know, 3,500 dogs as a dog trainer in a one-on-one capacity. But the
wow.
bit that helped me understand was the energy. So the
Mm,
energy connection with these animals,
mm,
that's what I love. You know, it might seem so different, but dogs can tell. They can, anyone who's got a dog, they can tell. And
yeah.
I'm not being silly or rude here, but if you want to understand, and I'm diving, we weren't even planning this, but here we go. If you want to, as a man, if you're confused about women feeling, like we know dogs can feel, and the women, their ability to feel
Mm,
what's going on in a man is like,
mm,
wow, like
mm-hmm,
just like a dog knows, can they trust you? Have you got good intention? What are you know,
mm-hmm.
are you in a good mood? And that's
Mm.
just come from nowhere. But that feels really
Sure.
important to land at. You know, I
Yeah.
didn't understand that. So all these different careers and jobs and stuff, they've really helped me become who I am.
And I
Yeah.
love that you share that, Rebecca, about our multiple fields that we work in, and
Mm,
that we
mm,
collate the information of that and bring together who we are.
yeah.
That does, Dan and I do talk about with Relationship Rising, and particularly on this journey of the heart. This is about stretching the bandwidth of who we are, like
Mm,
Mm,
opening to new radio stations, opening these new scripts of who we
yeah.
are inside the forgotten, the hidden rooms inside the
Yes.
home of our body. And at the
Mm,
same time, when Dan talks about the dog side of things, that's what the horses taught me. And I know, Rebecca, your incredible sensitivity that you hold is something that's always drawn me to you,
yes.
because you have that sensitivity like the horses. It's like
Mm,
you can feel when somebody is presenting a certain way, but they've got a seething rage going on the inside. And
mm-hmm.
that get the game and the pretense and the masks that we wear, when we start to let this fall away. And as
Sure.
Dan says, the bioenergetics of the relational field in which we emanate, which we
Yes.
broadcast to all of life, that is really how we create this fundamental and foundational change in the journey of the heart in union.
and if I can just
Absolutely.
jump in, because we haven't mentioned this, but Jenny and I have been together 26 years. And so
Mm-hmm.
what we're bringing is our journey of almost this collision and frustration and arguing and like no passion, it's gone, but there's a little spark still there, like there's an
Mm.
ember, and we held on,
Smoldering.
Yeah.
smoldering, kind of, there's something, can we make this work?
Mm-hmm.
And somehow, well, we're now in the best place in our lives relationship wise after 26 years, and everything's as good
Mm,
as it's ever been. If you can read
mm.
between the lines, it's amazing, it's great. And
Yeah.
and we're happy, and so we really want to share what it was, what, because there is, you know, there was a format, there was things
The
I just,
formula.
there's a format,
Yeah.
and that's what we
Beautiful.
want to
Yeah.
share on this
Yeah.
retreat for. And you
Yeah.
don't have to be in a relationship. That's an important bit, because it's really about, for me, when I talk about this bandwidth earlier on,
Yes.
what the biggest piece for me probably was thinking I had to be one thing the whole time. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd let so much of who I really was go. It had almost
Mm.
died.
Mm.
And I
Ooh.
was able to bring it all back to me and realize,
Yeah.
pick those boxing gloves up again. That's a part of
Mm.
you, Dan. And that was more of my masculine side. And I'd become so
Yes.
feminine and loving. This is my journey. I'd lost that part of me. And when I brought it back, it brought
Mm.
me personally back into balance. And Jenny found that
Mm.
more, you know, attractive, and the whole thing worked better. I just
Mm.
didn't realize I had to find me before I could find us.
Mm.
Mm. And that's something that I really, you know, with what I bring and who I am, and my life's work has been all about connecting more deeply to the inner
Yes.
realms through the gateway of the body, you know, the sensations, with movement, with breath, with all of the teachings and the offerings that my career has been based on. And both of you and this whole work of Journey to the Heart in Union is this deeply embodied within here, with these inner realms. It's within us. And I love so much what you guys bring. It's all about bringing it in, bringing it into the body, bringing it into the present moment with all of these different aspects, but it's like unifying it. And I love that journey to the heart in union. It's, you just shared, you've done all these different things, and this journeying the relationship, and it all comes in here.
That's such a beautiful description, Rebecca. And I love, you're the same as me. It's like they're talking with our hands.
Yes.
And relationship is a whole being experience. And I know one of the pieces that it comes through every single time in the journey of the heart in union is how
Yes.
do we navigate our physical body, the law of the jungle that is kind of happening in here all the time. My sense of safety, my sense of self, my boundaries, where I end and another begins. So we're always in that field. And at the same time, which is the huge piece in relationship work, is everybody has a connection to what we call the aspirational self, or me on my best day, so it's how we integrate the animal body and the aspirational self and be able to like meet ourselves in the intelligence of the heart and coming into the wisdom of the body, the listening of the body, because the body, as you know, and as you teach and as you share in your work, is where the deepest density sits. So we have to acknowledge the density of this body, the embodied experience of relationship. And I know for me, it was clearing a lot of that clutter out, clearing a lot of the places I'd armored my heart against, Dan. Like I just closed that down, closed my body in so many ways. So these are the kind of experiences of, coming into integrity and openness with the love that I am. And a lot of people who come on that retreat, and I love that, you can come if you're single, you can come if you're in a partnership, you can come if you're in a partnership and your partner doesn't want to come, you still create this change. And what
Yes.
often people find is like, they end up meeting themselves. They're like, oh my God, I'm the love of my life. I thought it was him. I thought it was her. I've been working on him and I've been pointing the finger at her. Oh my God, I am the love of my life. I'd forgotten that. I'd forgotten my primary relationship. And that's the bit that really unlocks everything for
Yes.
people's bioenergetic relational field possibility.
Bioenergetic relational field possibility. And that's it. It's the energetics of the relationship with the self and then with the other, and then how that ripples out into all relating from within. That's
True.
I think that nails it.
And if I could do what I call man
mm,
speak, because a lot of men
yeah,
might be going bioenergetic, relational field, blah,
sure.
like
Please do.
for me, it's a case of when you change, the world around you changes.
Yes.
And so it's just because and I can own this. I wanted a great relationship with Jenny, partly
Mm,
because I wanted a little bit more, in the bedroom. And
mm-hmm.
and so there's sometimes that ulterior motive. But what's been beautiful is this is so much bigger than that. This is, I'm a happier man on my own. Before I needed Jenny, I was like almost chasing Jenny. I wanted more of Jenny. Now I can let her go. She can go on your whatever. And I'm a better man. I'm happier on my own. I'm better with the children. I'm better in business. I'm better with my mates. I'm better with the dogs. I'm just,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a better human being. And so, what a better way to do it than try and learn some tricks for the bedroom? It's like, wow,
I
forget that stuff. Tricks and that, not interested. Not interested. Because when you change this fundamental piece, what blew me away in our relationship when it was when I changed
Yes.
all those things that I'd been trying to get Jenny to do or become, or like I wanted, like I dreamt of in our relationship, that just happened
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I changed, and so I don't know, it evoked a change in the other, and the whole world around me changed.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
yeah.
And this is really what this work is bringing. This is when you dive in, I'm speaking from my personal experience and being a participant, and I've known you guys for a long time. We've done other things previously. I've done a previous retreat with you, Jenny, that was on a different focal point. But this retreat, which I had the opportunity to do in October, that is what I felt like I walked away with a toolkit of increased self-awareness and understanding and compassion for myself. I'm not in a relationship. I am on my own. I'd love one in the right time and space uh, when that occurs. But this level of awareness and practical tools to really view myself and the way that I be and the way that I relate and how I've created the way I relate to myself and to others through my life experience.
Yeah.
It's like you guys gave me this, like a map to go, oh, so since I walked away and, it's been now, several months, couple of months, it's a constant, and it is like I can see my hand. I do talk with my hands too, like you, Jenny. We're totally embodied. It's how life's work. It's like a mirror all the time going, oh, and it's this feedback that I'm getting all the
Yes.
time from what I received, not in judgment or making me wrong about who I am or how I've been. It's the exact opposite. It's actually compassion and, oh, you're doing that thing again, or what's possible now, or how can you show up differently, or who are you really? Because I feel like that's
Yeah.
fundamentally, that's where we get to when
Yeah.
we in the retreat. It's like we really get to this, when you say that journey to the heart in union, it's not just a title. We actually experience that
Yeah.
unification within ourselves first,
Mm.
irrespective of partnership or not.
It's so
So
beautiful, Rebecca. And I know
I've
we've,
really
yeah,
got that, like, enough for me to go, please, how can we bring this to the Australian community? Like,
so
what have
true.
I got to do? And you were like, well, actually,
We're
this is
coming.
something's been happening, something's been cooking, and
And I
you're
know,
actually
like when
taking
you,
this to the world. You're traveling the world for the year to
mm,
offer this in many places, and this is the first one. So
we are, so it is. This
amazing.
is this exactly. So this is that segue to the world, and
Mm,
there is not a better
mm,
place energetically
yes,
matching to us for
yes,
what is coming through. And I know we've shared before, Rebecca,
mm,
this inner work. It is literally like the relationship patterns, they run
yes,
us until we
mm,
start to run the patterns. And when we are able to relate and reparent these patterns inside us, we are
mm,
literally relationship paradigm shifting. And when
mm,
people step out of our workshops, it can be
mm,
quite hard to cognitively or tangibly like say what happened, but
mm,
everyone is foundationally different. There's a whole new paradigm, therefore, a whole new
mm,
possibility, whole new
mm.
trajectory. And I love the way you like zone in and zoom into the heart because that's it, right?
That's it.
That is it. Coming back to that as your central navigation, as your
Mm,
orientation, as the part of you that both can receive life and emit life as well.
mm.
Yeah.
Like you
Um,
said about the bandwidth, I
Yeah.
love that. Lately, what's been coming with me and my languaging is the frequency band that
Yeah.
we are, humanity is being drawn uh, organically and electrically to our right frequency matches our bandwidth. This
Yeah.
frequency band, it's like we're being drawn together to come together
Beautiful.
with these people. And it's not just in our neighborhoods or in our countries, it's much bigger than that.
Much bigger.
Yeah, and it's like you're bringing that here now, but
mm,
physically.
Yeah.
Because so many people connect online,
Yeah.
but this is a physical, and I think that is the most powerful, is when we can do
mm.
that, when
Yeah.
we can
Coming
physically
together.
come together,
Yeah.
And I think
which
what's
is what we're
beautiful is
doing.
all of this happens at I was thinking as you two were sharing that it happens at a level and a space which is a lot of it is beyond words. So for
Mm-hmm.
those of you who are kind of thinking, what actually goes on this retreat? What is it like? It's not a lot of sitting around in a circle talking, airing your dirty laundry, having to say, I did this and I'm sorry. It's none of that. You don't share
No.
anything you don't want to. And it's because what I love about it, having, done so many of these retreats and that is people experience and it's the feeling. And
Mm,
it's this contrast of feelings, which means you feel stuff that you've never felt before. And I just want to
mm.
throw in here, we're fully clothed. This is not some sort of, semi-naked and none of that stuff. You're fully clothed, but you can feel. And you go, wow.
Yes.
I can feel that now. And when you understand what that feeling is, and then it changes and morphs, you go, I can feel that too. Wow.
Mm.
Mm,
And
mm,
you're able to leave going, now I know what I'm actually experiencing and feeling. And you can go, do I need some more of this or that? And it's kind
yeah,
of, it is hard to put words around, which is like what you said.
it
It's an
is.
experience. It's experiential retreat.
Mm.
Mm,
And it's so safe. I think it's very that something for me. I mean, I hold you guys in such respect and your integrity and your purity and your commitment to the work, to one another, to humanity, really, and to us all coming
Mm.
into union within ourselves and each other, is the level of safety and holding and containment that is experienced the whole time.
Yeah.
It's such a safe space because this can be really edgy stuff for people to
Yes.
even have that willingness to go, oh, I'm ready to look at my own self, how I show up, or
Mm.
my relationship is not how I want it to be. I might be in a relationship but I'm scared to, work on that with other people or to, it's not like doing counseling. It's nothing like that. It doesn't even come close to it. But that can be really edgy to admit, oh, hey, this is actually about me, and then bringing that into a group space.
Yes.
But the safety and containment, I mean, for me, that's just paramount with
mm,
anything.
Yeah,
And it's
I
so
agree.
strong. It's like we're just held so powerfully and deeply by you guys in
Mm.
this space. And I think that's really important for people to receive that
yeah.
Yeah.
and understand that,
That
because
it
it's
is
it's
safe on
fun,
all
isn't it really
levels. Yep.
vulnerable? Yeah,
Yep.
like we're not taking
Yep.
our clothes off and we're not talking about our sex lives. I don't mean vulnerability in that stuff or she said,
Mm,
he said, but coming and opening our hearts and sharing, being
And
authentic. It's
seeing
vulnerable.
ourselves, like
and
It's
seeing
vulnerable.
ourselves.
this has
Yeah.
made me smile because I think one of the most amazing things, and I don't know if this is, I'm a
Mm.
guy, so I don't know if it's the same for women, but for me,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I love about the retreats is I get to experience love and go, so
Yes.
this is what it feels like to love without that sexual charge.
Oh yeah, that's that makes my whole body go, ah,
Yes.
And
It's
so I
such a
go,
relief, right? As
oh,
a
it's
woman,
like a relief.
it's such a relief,
and
Rebecca.
as a
I feel
man,
it
it's like,
Such
I
a
actually go,
relief.
I really love this. This is like, I love this
Yeah.
energy of these people. These are my
Mm.
tribe, this is my family.
Oh
And there's not
yeah.
this kind of like, ooh, ooh, there's none of
And
that. So,
I think what
No.
Dan says there is so important, and we go into this with like the deep mapping of our relationship capacity, is
Yes.
it helps men and women, no
Yeah.
matter what sexual preference, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what, it's not gender specific,
age.
not
Mm-hmm.
age specific. It's
Yeah.
it's allowing us to drop deep enough into the current of life herself, the current of
Mm.
eros.
Mm.
The erotic nature of being alive is not
Oh,
always one-way traffic to the
yeah.
bedroom.
Mm,
Yeah.
And this is what happens in our life. It's like if that wasn't transgressed just to the bedroom in your life, and you could plug into that erotic current of life in your body as a daily vitality and well-being and fuel for your passion, your
mm,
purpose, how
Oh,
would that show up
mm,
in your marriage? How would that show up in your relationship field with your work, with your
mm,
kids, with your next
yeah.
partner? Like that's the
Yeah.
difference.
mm,
So we're like, we actually, I'll be really honest, in our retreat, we strip away a lot of the horse shit. We strip away a lot of the trending. We strip away a lot of the superficial hijacking of these deep currents of life herself. We get really
Mm.
real and we get really honest. I know for me, it's like, can I tidy up when I'm
Mm.
running this and I'm running manipulation, or when I'm, doing
Mm-hmm.
this and I'm just not being clear. My words are something, but I'm like, I want to get my mini me fed. So
Mm.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
we get to clean up how we do us, how I do me.
Mm.
And one of the things I wanted to share in our retreat, Dan and I are not sat bums on seats preaching and teaching. I mean, there's days that I've got my sleeves rolled up and I'm head down,
Oh
bum
yeah.
up, and I'm in it. And I'm in it and I'm leading the way because I'm in it. And
Yeah.
I'm with what's live for me. So there's no I am one of the biggest participants in the retreat, as is Dan, as is the live field. So we work with people. It's like, what's live? We're all ingredients here. And this is the magic I feel when we come to Australia. I'm feeling the aliveness of the men and the women that are being drawn to this space. And I'm so excited about what we're cooking. Like, what are we cooking here, Rebecca?
And I'd love to just throw on the end of that one of the other pieces, which I think is quite genius or fascinating in a way, is when I talk about it going beyond the theory and it's a participation, you know, we're actively feeling. And one of the things that happens on the retreat is you actually get to witness and experience a couple navigating the highs and lows of, like, you can see us going, what do you reckon here? And it's like, who's
Oh
leading?
yeah.
What happened? Oh, they've hit a glitch. Have they hit
We've
a
hit
glitch?
a glitch.
And it's like, babe, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And
Is
we're
it live?
so,
Like, I love that. It's live.
it's
Like
live.
literal moment to moment.
Nothing hidden,
Yeah.
hey, Rebecca. We're not hiding
No.
ourselves. No.
So you
No.
go, oh,
Yeah.
that's how relationship was. So they still have little kind of, yeah, we still have those, but it's how do you navigate them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can, and so you get to go,
And come back to love,
yeah.
because that's it.
And what you say there, like there'll be times in the retreat where, you know, you can see there's a huge love flowing between Dan and I, and you can also see that right now Jenny wants to hack his head off, and like how's she going to deal with this? Because there's 30 people watching, and you can clearly see she wants to hack his head
I
off.
think she just stuck
Yeah.
a knife in his ribs. How did he respond? And I'll go, well, in the olden days, I'd have gone,
Yeah.
I
So
know.
you
I
know,
can feel the joy in my face. Like I'm having all these flashbacks and
all the
memories
memories.
of, like, yeah, and just
Yeah.
the vulnerability and just the magic and
Yes.
how what's happening. Like there's so much happening all of the time, and we are all live and we're in it together. It's incredible. It's pretty wild.
A tiny sorry, babe, and a tiny thing I love to, I guess this is a sales point, right, Rebecca? A tiny thing that I notice with retreats is sometimes the movement you create in your life, the gift is you don't have to do all the work yourself, because just in that minute, that guy is clearing your father wound.
and
And you get to take it all the way in, but you're not having to do the work. So
Yes.
someone else is like healed that part.
Yes.
And then, but you're still participating in the consciousness that's running. You receive the medicine. So I can put my hand up. This is one of the reasons I love group containers, because I'm not having to do
Same.
all my own work.
and
Same.
I've just got this right now that when we talk about somebody else doing the work, what for me happens is I see them bringing the energy and feeling that experience, and I can feel that energy too.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of a man who brought so much life force back into his body. It was visceral, and I can feel. I'm getting goose pimples now as I say it,
Yeah.
because I can feel this man coming back to life, bringing back his life force. And it was like, I'm going to bring that in. And I can still feel that today. And that's the beauty, that the people who come on these retreats, you have somebody who's very, you know, single-minded and focused, maybe a doctor or a lawyer. And then we have people who are artistic and people who just chatter, and then the strong, silent type. And everybody has their ingredients. And you go, I see that. I love that person. That's my energy that I love. And then you go, I can't stand that person. And they're all a gift, because we go, why do I hate that energy? What is it about that energy that makes me go, "Arr"? It's, is it part of me? Or is it a case of going, I know what that's really going on. So, yeah.
So we really crossed into, like, what do you get from the retreat? And it is so big. It is a toolkit, and it's like a map or a framework for deepening and really with compassion and love and truth, the relationship with the self, and then the relationship with others, isn't it?
Yes, Rebecca. Yes.
Yeah. And it's the feelings at the cellular level, which actually change, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, physiologically, you are different.
Yeah.
You know,
it's beautiful.
It's hard to encapsulate in a conversation.
True.
It's definitely experiential and totally embodied. I mean, we do so many different embodiment practices and somatic practices, obviously, to anchor so much of the teachings. That's just woven through every aspect of the retreat. But yeah, to then bring that map and that toolkit so that we can take it away with us. It's not like, oh, we have this peak experience, because I've had that often. You can do a training or a retreat or something or learning, and it's like everybody's cathartically high, and it's this, you know, oh my gosh, and you feel it so much, and then there's this total crash of, well, how's that actually applied in my daily life as I go forward? And that's something that I really would love to acknowledge, and the beauty of it. And I know that this is something that you guys offer, which I find lacks a lot in a lot of work. And I personally haven't had this offered any other retreat that I've done, is you run a container afterwards where people have this open space to remain connected to what was created by the group in the group field. You know, our one was, I think, 33 days after our retreat. So we didn't just walk away and go, oh, well, I've got all these new ideas and I've had these big shifts and it's all been amazing, and now I'll just go back into my life by myself. You know, it was this beautiful, like I said again, about that safety and that containment that you guys hold with such impeccability, that it wasn't like we finish and now, okay, well, good luck with that, everybody, on you know, on your bikes, you know, till next time or whatever. Or we had this beautiful container that was actually part of the retreat that we all got held in, and, you know, people could share as much as they wanted to or not. And that level of integration was so supportive. And again, it's that toolkit and map. We didn't just get given it and experienced it. It was then, okay, so this is how you can actually work with it in real time, in real life, now that you're not here in a retreat center. It's very easy to be totally different at a retreat center or a workshop. But, you know, you guys really, I mean, I thought that was incredible. And
thank you,
it's
Rebecca.
helped me so much. I mean, you've seen how much I've shifted and changed since October. And so many people have said that to me, even in my classes, in my movement classes. They're like,
I love that.
This is different. Like, you're different. And I'm like, I am, because I'm in here. I'm truly in here now, in a different way. And it's very true. So that's another aspect I think is really important for people to understand. That's part of the
that is an important part. Like you say, that's a really important and rare part of the journey of the heart and union, is that support to integrate. And I talk about it like it's test running. So you test run yourself in your life, and then you feedback, you bring back to the group field, this is how it's going. And that really allows a seamless changing in the fabric of people's realities. So it is a personal reality transformation retreat.
Yes, in your actual life, not just I've gone to a retreat for 5 days, but your actual daily, you know, the chop would carry water part of life.
Well said.
Life is not a peak experience every moment. And a retreat, you know, is a container of a peak experience, there's no doubt. But it's like, okay, here we are in our real life in real time and making decisions, and kids that aren't asleep or paying bills, or I don't know, you left your dirty socks on the floor, or I have no idea.
Real life,
whatever it is.
All the things.
All of the things. Yeah. So, I think that's another amazing offering that is tied in with the retreat that I have not been offered at any other retreat I've done. So
beautiful.
Wanting to really acknowledge that's that people will receive that. And it's been so helpful to me. Yeah. Like I said, I keep seeing this mirror going, oh, you're doing that thing. I love what you said about the pattern. Could you say that again?
Yeah.
The pattern.
The pattern runs you. Yeah, we see our pattern because the pattern runs you until you run the pattern.
Yes. Yeah. I think that needs to become my new tagline.
I'll get you a t-shirt.
Thanks. I would wear it with pride.
I know. Oh, it's been beautiful sharing with you today, Rebecca, to remind ourselves of why it is we're coming to Australia, why it is we do this work, just feeling and connecting to your beautiful energy and the changes you've experienced as well over the last few weeks and months. And we're looking forward to weaving with the men and the women and the singles and the couples and whoever you are. This retreat will call you. This retreat will call you.
And we'll put a link up somewhere. So if you want to find out more, there's a whole page all about this with all the details, or get in touch with Rebecca or ourselves and have a chat.
Yeah. And people can definitely reach out to you and have a little chat to you to see if it's a fit, if they've got questions. And of course, with me being here on the ground, I'm very supportive in all the logistics and getting here, and lots of ideas about, we live in Paradise, where the Gold Coast and Byron Bay. The retreat centre is 2 hours from both. So it's an incredible place to be, integrating after the retreat. There's so many options. I've got, I've lived in this region for 20 years, so I've got a lot of ideas and, a lot of recommendations for people and support on the ground, so I think that's important as well.
And if you're watching this and you've got friends or partners or colleagues or brothers or sons, daughters, and you're thinking they might enjoy this, then do them a favor, forward this to them if you feel that's right, because you never know who is going to step forward and go, I want a life-changing transformation. And it's powerful. And I always say, we only have one life. So
and stepping into this new energy, 2025, we're all feeling it's like, it's not just a shift, it's exponential. Everyone's feeling it. I don't know anyone that isn't going, whoa, our things that aren't in alignment anymore or that aren't serving, they are so loud. They are just so loud now. And it's like, okay, so instead of feeding into the negativity of that, it's like, how can we just bring more yes to it, and be more of who we really are? That's really what we're being called to do.
I agree.
Humanity,
100%
who we really
agree.
are, and this work is so supportive in that, to being your authentic self, to coming from love, to being in truth, and we need it now more than ever, because it is a jungle out there. You said that before about the jungle. It's a jungle.
It's a jungle out there.
Definitely.
I was going to say, finding the best version of ourselves for me is a simple way. It's like up leveling. There's more to me. I mean, I'm not I'm still on the journey. Anyone watching this, I ain't finished yet. There's so many parts of me I want to tidy up, clean up, find more of that, bring more of that through on a regular. So it's
100%. 100%. And it's this is an amazing opportunity to do that. With other people who are just as willing, in an incredible place. So
do you want to finish up with a final word? You always have something inspirational.
Talk about pressure. I don't.
Beautiful. That's authenticity right there.
It's the deepest gratitude.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Sharing this time together.
Yeah. Thank you for all you do and all your being. And
thanks for coming. Thanks for saying yes.
It's a huge yes.
Huge yes. It was incredible the way it all unfolded, as everything is,
Before we finish, should we say the dates?
Yes. So it's the 23rd to the 27th of April, 2025. There's a lot of 20s, a lot of 20 energy, and it's
just outside of the Gold Coast. It's that way. If you're at the Gold Coast.
It is. So it's 2 hours from the Gold Coast airport. It's 2 hours from Byron. The land is exquisite. It's 200 acres of ancient Gondwana rainforest. It's pristine. And just the land itself. And I know how important that is for you guys with whatever work you do, that the energetics of the land are a huge part of anything you offer. Obviously, look at your incredible retreat centre that you already live in, your own space. So it's very easy to get to. But people can talk to me about that aspect.
Beautiful.
I can provide all that. But it's the Gold Coast Airport if you're flying into. But I'm your lady to chat to about, organising things on that level. But it's actually very deep in the border ranges. So it's very close to the border of New South Wales, northern New South Wales, and Queensland. So you could come in from either end, depending upon which way you come in. But it's around 2 hours from the coast.
Beautiful.
And then you've got all the incredible, coastline and places to visit. I would really recommend that for people who are coming from afar, to give themselves some integration time. And I've got a lot of,
suggestions and ideas.
All that.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
All that kind of stuff. That, you know me, I'm a community builder and leader. It's my jam. It's the people and experiences are my thing. One of my many things. So,
beautiful.
All
right. Well, much love.
How was that, guys?
Much love to you. It's been wonderful. Lovely sharing. And if anyone's watching this still, bye-bye. Click on the link.
Yeah.